Alright guys, how you going? Welcome to the first episode of Under Construction. Today we'll be working on mounting the intercooler. I've already sort of started here. Here's the intercooler here that we're working with. It's a CX Racing intercooler that I bought online. CX Racing are in the US and they make a heap of conversion kits and stuff like that, along with intercoolers for different model cars. This one is not for a specific car or anything like that, but it was the size that I needed. I had another intercooler previously, which was way too big. I had cut out way too much of the radiator support here and ended up having to replace that section back again because it cut out all the front here where the grill sort of mounts up, lower part of the apron. It was way too much. In the end, I wasn't happy with it. Sold off that big intercooler and bought this CX Racing one. It looks like it's a pretty good product. All the welds are nice. You know, that's the only thing I can sort of check at the moment. Let's see here, open it up. See, they've flared all the ends, all these are cast. You know, all the sections of intercooler there are all clear, they're not, you know, clogged up or anything like that, as you can see, so it all looks pretty good. But we'll see how we go. You know, once it's all running, and that'll be the big test then. So showing down here now, you'll see I've cut out this section here from the radiator support. There was a small sort of, if I remember correctly, there was a small sort of section that was cut out from factory, but obviously I've cut out a lot more, and now you can see I've marked it where I've got a clearance actually just a little bit more, as Leah's filming there at the moment. And here I've started making the lower mounts. These sit here. You can probably see the hole there that I've cut at the bottom. These are for these bungs here. So these bungs will go all the way through and sort of drop in. So what the idea is, I'll put a rubber grommet on these. So the rubber grommet will sort of sit there. This sort of sits here like that. So the rubber grommet sort of rests against the weld there of the bung. And that'll just sort of drop in as a factory sort of radiator would. The factory radiators, see, they sit here in these holes. Obviously the radiator that we're using isn't going to use those now, as it has to sit out just a tiny bit. But I made they're like little pedestals, so you can see they're just from flat steel. I've folded them up, cut, relieved them, and they'll sort of just hold it up and out of the way. And, so it doesn't. So the bottom of the actual intercooler doesn't rest on here, so it just sort of sits up, you know. This section here had to be shaved and clearanced a little bit. You might be able to see that. So it's just it becomes a small lip. I've left the lip on there because that adds strength to this panel, so that it doesn't flex and bend or anything like that. Not that it would. I wouldn't think so anyway, just with the weight of the intercooler. But yeah, so it sort of rests not hard up against here because I've put the cardboard on there, and the cardboard gives me a good maybe 8mm clearance. So working off that, when it's finished, it'll have that 8mm clearance from the front of the radiator support or apron section here. Yeah, and that's it. So now we'll start cutting these sections out, clearancing a bit more and testing and seeing that it all sort of fits, and we'll go from there.
Alright, so we have this tool here, and what this tool does...
Hang on, show us that little tool, dude.
Okay. Alright.
Hang on, just hold it still.
I don't know the name.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, but what it does is you put it on an edge of the metal, and if it's rough, like this, you just have to scrape along, like that, on rough edges. So, for instance, this part, just hold it there, and you scrape along, and because it has these grooves here, it scrapes the metal and it cleans it out. So it pushes all of the thin metal that's on the edge back, and then you can just file it down.
Okay, so do you know what's produced that thin metal? That sort of metal that's excess there? Like.
Well, grinding
very
here,
good.
Creates
Yes,
thin metal,
okay,
so
very
just
good.
Scrape it down.
Okay, excellent. As long as you can get your fingers like that, and you're not cutting yourself, you know you've done the job. Alright, so let's try again, now that we've clearanced it. See how we go. If it locates itself. These obviously aren't welded in yet, so there we go, sitting in place. Oh, much better. Much better. So as you can see now, there's more clearance on the edge of the where the silicone hose will be sitting, and there's some nice clearance. Alright, so as you can see, we've got more clearance now for the silicone hose to go on, and plenty more. I can get my whole finger under there easily underneath it as well, which before we couldn't. It hasn't dropped it down any further, but well, it might have actually. It might have dropped it down just a tiny bit, which is good. Further down we can get, because down here comes the bonnet catch. So this is where the bonnet catch will go. And we want to make sure that it comes down all the way and doesn't hit the intercooler. So as you can see, now we've got quite a bit of clearance underneath. 3 fingers. Ah, 3 fingers neat. Okay.
4 fingers for a child.
4 fingers for a child. Oh, here we go. Alright, coming out with all the jokes today.
It's your fault.
Better.
You started it.
Okay. Okay, here we've got Leo. He's going to be just doing some small tacks. First go at welding. We'll see. Second go, and we'll see how he goes here. Just welding on these little base plates. All right, go for it, son. Done. No, you missed.
I did.
Yeah. So you got to angle it a bit more. That's all right. That's all right. Angle it a bit more.
The same spot.
Yeah, around about there, like that. All right, go for it, big. That's it. Now you got it. Now the other one. Yeah, a little bit longer. Alright, now get yourself into a position where it's comfortable for you. Now excuse the pink gloves, guys. That's the only ones that fit him, so don't tease him. He's having a go.
Be nice.
Yeah, be nice. Alright, so do that one on the left there. It's probably easier for you. On the left, that's your right.
And I thought I was good at school.
Directions, eh? Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, you gotta not move. Alright, and no swearing.
Yeah.
Alright, let's fix that up.
It grew.
It grew. It grew. Okay. Alright, so try it again. Alright, you gotta come in sort of on that angle like that.
In a good...
Yeah, okay. So see if you can hold it there. Alright, have a go. No. Okay. It's not quite getting a good earth there. You might be leaning on this thing. Let's see. Let's move it a bit. Alright, let's try it again. Hang on, let's cut it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not easy. Alright, let's try again. Alright, have a go. That's better. Let's see if you got it. Yeah, you did. Good man. Now that one there. Done. Yeah. Look at that, guys. Not bad. Not bad at all. Good work, buddy. Hey, you're getting there. Right, so he knows what he's doing this time. And I shouldn't have to guide him so much. I'll be able to just concentrate on filming. Yeah, I don't think that one grabbed. I think you were too far up. So, yeah, there. Yeah, you have to go a bit longer than that though. Alright, do the next one, and then we'll review that one. That's better. Okay, that's a tack length, okay? Try that one there. Yeah, get yourself comfy. Alright. Are you right? Do you want me to hold the hose? You sure? Yeah, that did something. It's just got to tack on. Alright, so do you think you can reach the other one there, or? Did that do anything?
yeah.
Alright, we'll see how we went. Alright, so on the little pedestals here at the bottom, where the dowels or, you know, intercooler bungs, these things here, sit into, I've just put some rubber grommets. They started off as 1 inch blanking grommets. Let's see if we can focus in here. Yay! Okay, so 1 inch blanking grommets. They started off as these, and I just cut the centers out. As you can see, there's one end ends up really fat. It's got a fat lip, and then the other side doesn't. So I've just put the fat lips sort of facing up, and they sit right on the weld where the aluminium weld is of the intercooler, and just holds them off the pedestal to stop vibration and, you know, any damage being caused to it. You know, noise, all that sort of stuff. So it just sits in there nicely. That's how the radiators used to sit from standard in those other holes that are right next to it. So it's just a similar sort of setup, and works really well. Hey guys, I think I forgot to mention the size of the actual intercooler. So I'm just going to measure it up now just to show you guys, especially the Cortina guys, what size this intercooler is. So the actual core is 500 by 300. So that's the actual core of it. Overall, from end tank to end tank, where the actual pipes go, is 690, just under 700, and of course by 300. So at the narrowest, from end tank to end tank, 550, and then 600, 610. Okay, so I think I forgot to mention that before, so I thought I'd mention it because it's quite important, especially for the Cortina guys, like I said before. Alright, let's get back to it. Alright, so we made the bottom mounts probably a few weeks ago now. We're just continuing on now and going to start on the top mounts. So as you can see here, the bosses are already welded onto the intercooler. It already comes with them. So we're going to use them and just make a little bracket, like a Z type bracket, I guess. That just sort of comes off here, angles up, and then sits flat again, and mounts to the radiator support here. So we'll just have a riv nut that we'll put into there, and a bolt or a screw, whatever, and then one into here, and that'll be plenty. And it'll stop the intercooler from moving back and forth, and stop it wanting to go up as well. So it won't allow it to actually move up at all. So it keeps it located in the bottom mounts that we made. Okay, so we'll get started on them now. So these are how the brackets have ended up. Pretty neat, you know, considering they've been bent on the vise. Like I said, I just radioised the corners a little bit just to give it that smooth look. But they work well. They're 4mm aluminium plate, which I bought on eBay. Comes in a sheet of like A4 sort of size, and it's cheaper than getting a whole sheet just to do a few little bits and pieces. Okay, so we've got the intercooler mounted now. It's completely bolted in. It's sitting into the little pedestals that I made at the bottom, and the brackets are now in place. You can see here it's extremely solid. I'm moving the whole car. This thing ain't going anywhere. It's not going up and down. It's not going left and right. It's not going anywhere. I'll show you the brackets closer up in a second. I just put some riv nuts here in the bottom of the radiator support, which I'll show you. They were quite difficult to get them to pop with the riv nut tool. In the end, ended up breaking the riv nut tool, so I'll have to get a new one of those. But it's in there now, and the next bit will be to mount up the radiator. Alright, so here we've got the brackets a little bit closer for you so you can see. You can see that I've bent them up at a 90-degree angle. I've used the bolts that were used with the intercooler kit. They fit the bosses, and the same bolts fit the M8 riv nuts that I've put into the bottom of the radiator support there. So you can see there the riv nuts just create a little bit of a gap between the bracket and the radiator support, but that's fine. It's all bolted up nice and stiff now. Everything clears, the end tanks clear, the openings that I made over there, so it's all looking really good. There should be enough clearance here for the bonnet catch. As you can see, there's quite a big gap there. It should be fine. I'll test that out once the bonnet's on and the bonnet catch. I might need to shave it a little bit or shorten up the catch, but there's quite a big gap there. You know, 3 fingers worth, I don't know what that works out to be, looks about 50mm. The area where the grill will clip onto has quite a bit of a gap as well, about 10-15mm worth behind there, so that's all clear. It's all clear here as well. I don't like things being hard up against any other surface with the vibration and that, it'll just wear through. So, looking good.